My favorite memory was during the school. What they have about every week or two, you have an excursion, is what they call it, and you go on, whether it be to a factory to do more business-esque things, or you go out to a winery. And this particular winery we went to was about 30 minutes by train going south, and this was in March, I want to say. So it was very beautiful, the weather was nice, and it was on a hill overlooking a humongous valley and things like that. And we had to climb all the way up there. We ended up sitting on top of that hill, drinking nice wine, and overlooking a beautiful valley. It was a very fun day. It was a time after a lot of studying, a lot of hard work, and then we all got to relax on this nice hill drinking wine. Three best things about the institution itself. The people that actually run the program are very dedicated to what they do, and they make everything very seamless. So if you're ever nervous about the traveling or any of the just kind of culture shock to it, they make it much easier. They take care of you really well. And on top of that, they work really hard to make sure that the program is top quality, things like that. For the institution, the actual university there, it is much more focused on particular subjects like business or engineering or things like that. It's not like our university where they do everything from art to business to everything else. It's much more fine-tuned to what it is you're going after. So that means your professors are those that are like in that field and know what they're doing. The students that you actually, since in the program it's half international students and half German students, the German students there actually want to be part of the program because they actually want to get to know you and hang out with you and learn different cultural things and practice their English. There's a lot of practicing English. The main difference, I would say, is at Texas State, we have reviews, we have tests, we have homework, we have something going on week in, week out. They don't have that there. You might have some homework, but rarely ever. What they do is they do, whether it be a couple weeks or a full month of lecture, and then one test. That's it. You get one test, one shot at it. That's it. And it actually turns out much better than it sounds. I was actually kind of terrified of it at the start, but it actually turns out it's an amazing way to actually learn because, especially with the Germans, they really you study together and you master the subject more than just kind of get by. So class registration was very easy. Texas State here at the International House they helped with everything. For the registration stuff, I was already registered before I even left to go to Germany. So they have everything organized before you even leave. So it was very, very easy. Housing, they have a humongous, big international house that they have now. We got to stay at it. You're in there with everybody. All the internationals are together. Of course, the Germans, they live there, so they have their own places. But all of the internationals, I believe it was a little more than 20 of us. And there was a few that had to stay in some other places. There's some apartments further into the city, but it's a small town, so it's not that far. But the majority, I think we had 20 people living in one big house, and that was people from South Korea to Colombia to Ecuador to Mexico. So in this program, there's very few Americans that actually go to it. So you get even not only German culture, you get all of the world culture. So I got financial aid. For me, I got Pell Grant and a few other kind of grants, things like that. And that paid for the program. The program isn't too expensive. It was about $3,000, $4,000 for the program, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah, so I paid it with financial aid, and then for myself, I'm a veteran, so I also used the GI Bill while I was over there. And with that, I was able to pay for my housing, which housing wasn't $400, $500 a month. So it's actually way cheaper than being here. As with most things, so you go over there, the food's cheaper, housing's cheaper. The main cost is just getting there. So I would return. Of course, I'm graduating in December, but for the actual program itself, I would return. The program for those classes, you get not only the actual understanding of what the subject matter is, you also get cultural influences, you get different language skills, you meet the networking ability is huge there because you're not only just meeting Germans, you're meeting, I have friends in, like I said, South Korea, some in Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, France, Czech Republic, all because I met through that program. So it's not only a good educational thing, it's a way to network. So. I do feel like it did open up other doors for me. It allowed me to, well, of course, networking, but it allowed me to kind of realize that you don't, like, after finishing college, there's so much more out there. Being able to apply for jobs, things like that. Like for myself, I'm gonna go teach English in the next year, most likely in Germany or somewhere in South Korea or something like that. So the biggest thing I would say is it opens up your mind to, well, you don't have to just live and work around here. You can actually go and travel a whole lot more, and you can make the connections to actually do that. Yes, I would encourage others to actually participate in the program. My biggest plus, I would say, to it is that for those that are like afraid for like culture shock or being away from family and things like that, the program in itself, for the people and the other students you're around, make it much easier. It went very fast. So the moment you actually started, the program only lasts about 3-4 months. So from the moment you start, it's just you're going to see things, excursions, going on trips with friends. Like for myself, I went to Ireland was one of my coolest ones I went to. So you're always doing something. So